Today on our 2007 Acura TSX, we're going to take a look at and also show you how to install the Curt Custom Fit Class 1 Trailer Hitch Receiver. This offers the 1¼ by 1¼ receiver tube opening. Its part number is C11455. Alright, here's what our hitch is going to look like installed. So we've got our square tube that comes across from our side plates here. It's going to meet at our receiver tube opening. This is an 1¼ by 1¼ opening. It's a Class 1 hitch, so you'll be able to use like your smaller cargo carriers, your 2 bike racks, small ball mounts if you want to haul a little trailer around or something like that. So they can be pretty versatile. Now when it comes time to secure all of your items in place, you got a 1/2-inch pinhole here on the side. You want to choose an accessory that's rated for Class 1 use, but you can see there's plenty of room around it for whatever type you might want to use, whether it's just a pin and clip, maybe a locking hitch pin, or even anti-rattle device. The reinforcement collar here around the end, you can see it's nice, kind of a flush steel look. I think it looks nice on the back. And then we've got plate style safety chain connection points that are going to come around. Oval shaped hole on each side. Shouldn't have any issue getting chains connected that you might want. And when it comes to weight capacities for the hitch, it's going to give us a 200-pound tongue weight rating, so that's the maximum downward force we can put here at the receiver tube opening. And it gives us a 2,000-pound gross trailer weight rating. That would be the total weight of our trailer and then anything that we were going to load up on it. Of course, it's a Class 1 hitch, so it's not rated for use with weight distribution, so you don't want to do anything with that. And Curt does recommend the use of a stabilization strap with this hitch if you're going to be hauling a non-wheeled load, so like your cargo carriers or your bike racks, anything really other than a trailer, you'll want to use that stabilization strap with. You'll also want to check the owner's manual on the Acura. You want to see what its tow rating is and go off of whichever of those numbers are the lowest. Now, a couple of measurements that you'll find helpful when it comes time to select your ball mount, bike rack, or hitch cargo carrier will be from the ground to the inside top edge of a receiver tube opening. We've got about 12⅕ of an inch. Then from the center of our hitch pin hole to the outermost edge of our bumper, it's about 2¼ With the inside top edge of the receiver tube opening being under 13 inches, we do recommend the use of products that have a raised shank just to provide you with better ground clearance. Now to begin our installation, we need to lower down the exhaust so we can gain access up to the attachment points. On each tailpipe section, we've got an exhaust hanger. It's going to be closer to the middle, towards the rear. And then kind of caddy corner from that, we've got one located up here on the front, closer to the outside. Now before we remove these, I'm going to use a cam buckle strap. Just go underneath the exhaust and give us some support. If we don't have quite enough room to get the exhaust down, we'll have another hanger right up here we can remove, but we'll only take that one off if we need to. You want to use a little bit of spray lubricant on these hangers to help them slide off. Then you can use a large screwdriver or a pry bar, and you just kind of want to pop up from behind them there, and they'll come off for you. Now we'll just let out a little bit of slack here, and you'll see our exhaust will come down, give us plenty of room to get in there and work. Now we're going to have our heat shields to take off. We got one on each side, and there's 4 bolts. 10mm socket is what you'll need for it. Now the 2 attachment points we're going to be using for our hitch are going to be the pre-drilled hole that's located between the 2 larger holes above our exhaust. Then if we come right back to the frame rail here, we've got one more right there. Now in order to get these in place, we're going to have to fish wire our hardware, which is going to be a carriage bolt and a square hole spacer block, up into position. The bolt fits fine in and out. The spacer block, you'll see, it's close, but not quite. So what we want to do is just either use a file or a rotary tool and just kind of take one edge off of that just slightly. Now we're going to take our pull wire, and we're going to start with our hole closest to the rear here. Just want to push it back towards the forward hole there, just so it'll come out of the bottom for us. Then we can slide on our spacer block, Want to thread on our carriage bolt. Then we'll feed that up and in. Pull it down in position. We just want to repeat that process for our other attachment points as well. It'll be the exact same on both sides. All right, with all 4 of those in place, we're ready to get our hitch raised up into position. Now, with the help of an extra set of hands, we can get our hitch raised into position. We just want to guide our carriage bolts through the side plates of our hitch here. Take one of our flange nuts and get that threaded on. Once we've got that started, we'll just let it rest there while we get our other one in place. All right, and that'll hold it there. We'll get our other 2 nuts on. All right, now we can get those snugged down and also torqued to the appropriate specifications, which are listed in our instructions. Now, when we get our heat shield put back up, we're going to use the new hardware that's been provided. And the bolts that we use to hold the hitch in position should come down through holes that already exist in the heat shield. See, like here and here. If those don't come down through those holes properly, then just enlarge them slightly. It's not a big deal. Now, this whole location, to get the hitch in properly, you're just not going to reuse it. All right, now we'll raise our exhaust back up. Now, most oftentimes you can just push these back on by hand. We'll put a little slack in our strap there and get that removed, and our hitch will be ready for use. And that's going to complete our installation of the Curt Custom Fit Class 1 Trailer Hitch Receiver, part number C11455 on our 2007 Acura TSX.
Click the link below to shop, learn more, or visit us at etrailer.com.